Hello, friend. It's so good to see you again. Come in, come in. Henry just made some tea and we saved a cup for you. The kitchen is warm today. The sunlight is coming through the window, making everything feel soft and golden.
Hey there. I'm really glad you're here. We were just sitting at the table, talking about something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Pull up a chair. Get comfortable. This is a safe space. Just us.
Softly. Today, we want to talk about something that feels big, but starts very, very small. We want to talk about confidence, and more specifically, how to build it when you feel like you have nothing, when you feel empty, when you look inside yourself and think, I don't have anything to feel confident about.
Yeah, that one hits close to home for me.
I know it does, Henry, and that's okay. That's why we're here together.
So, I want to share something with you, something that happened to me last week. It's small, but it felt really big in the moment.
Take your time.
I was sitting at my desk. I had this blank page in front of me. I needed to write something, just a simple email, not even important, really. But I sat there for 20 minutes, maybe longer, just frozen. And this voice in my head kept saying, "You can't do this. You don't know what to say. It won't be good enough."
That sounds really hard, Henry.
It was. And the strange thing is, I've written 1,000 emails before. 1,000. But in that moment, I felt like I'd never done it. Like I had no idea how. And I started thinking, why do I feel this way? Why can't I just believe in myself for one simple thing?
Do you know the word frozen? It means you can't move, like ice. Your body is there, but you feel stuck. You want to move forward, but something inside you says, no, stay here. It's safer here, even when staying hurts.
Exactly. I was frozen, and I realized something. I wasn't scared of writing the email. I was scared of not being good enough, of someone reading it and thinking, Henry doesn't know what he's doing.
Softly. That's what happens when confidence feels far away. We don't trust ourselves anymore. We forget all the times we did something well. We only remember the fear. Henry, can I tell you something?
Please.
Confidence doesn't mean you're never afraid. Confidence doesn't mean you wake up every morning feeling strong and powerful and ready to take on the world. That's not what it is.
Then what is it?
Confidence is when you're afraid and you do the thing anyway. Confidence is when you feel small and you still take one tiny step. It's not about feeling big. It's about trusting yourself enough to try, even when you feel like nothing.
Even when you feel like nothing?
Yes, because you're not nothing, Henry. You never were. But I understand why it feels that way sometimes.
So how do you build it? How do you build confidence when you feel empty? When you look at yourself and think, I don't have anything to work with?
You start with the smallest thing you can imagine. Something so small it almost doesn't count. But it does count. It always counts. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman I knew once. Her name was Anna. Anna went through a really hard time in her life. She lost her job, her relationship ended, she moved back to her parents' house, and every morning she woke up feeling heavy, like the world was pressing down on her chest.
I know that feeling.
Anna told me that some mornings she couldn't even get out of bed. She would lie there for hours thinking, what's the point? I have nothing. No job, no relationship, no future. And her confidence, gone, completely gone.
So what did she do?
One day, her mom said something to her. Her mom said, Anna, today I just want you to do one thing. Make your bed. That's it. Just make your bed.
That's all?
That's all. And Anna thought it was silly. She thought, making my bed won't fix my life. But she did it anyway. She pulled the blanket straight, she fluffed the pillow, and when she stepped back and looked at it, something shifted, just a tiny bit.
What shifted?
She realized she could do something, she could finish something, even something small. And the next morning, she made her bed again. and the morning after that, and slowly, very slowly, she started to feel like maybe, just maybe, she wasn't completely helpless.
Softly, making the bed gave her confidence?
No, not the bed itself, but the act of doing something, finishing it, and seeing the result. That gave her proof. Proof that she could still take action, that she still had a little bit of control. The word proof means evidence, something you can see or feel that shows something is true. Anna needed proof that she wasn't broken, and making her bed gave her that proof one morning at a time.
I think I understand. It's about showing yourself that you can do things, even tiny things.
Exactly. Let me tell you another story. This one is about a man named David. David had really bad social anxiety. Do you know what anxiety means?
It's like fear, but it doesn't go away?
Yes, it's like a constant worry, a feeling in your chest that something bad might happen, even when nothing bad is happening. David felt this way around people. He was scared to talk to strangers, scared to make eye contact, scared to even go to the grocery store.
That sounds exhausting.
It was. He avoided people for years. He ordered everything online, he worked from home, he barely left his apartment. And his confidence around people, it disappeared. He started to believe, I can't do this. I'm not like other people. I'll never be comfortable around people.
But he did something, didn't he?
He did. One day he ran out of coffee, and he loves coffee. He really, really loves it. So he thought, okay, I'll go to the store. I'll buy one thing, just coffee. I'll go early in the morning when it's quiet.
And he went. His heart was pounding, his hands were shaking, but he walked into the store, grabbed the coffee, went to the cashier, and said, "Good morning." That's all. 2 words. Good morning.
That took a lot of courage.
It did, and when he walked out of the store, he felt relief, but also something else, a tiny bit of pride. He thought, I did it. It was hard, but I did it. The word pride means feeling good about yourself, feeling like you did something worth doing. David felt proud, even though it was just buying coffee, because for him, it was huge.
Did he keep going?
He did. The next week, he went again. Then he started saying thank you to the cashier. Then he started smiling. Small steps, tiny steps, but each step gave him a little more confidence.
So he built it from nothing.
From nothing. From one trip to the grocery store.
I like these stories, Daisy. They make me feel like it's possible. It is possible, Henry. Let me tell you one more. This one is about a young girl named Lily. Lily loved to draw when she was little. She drew all the time. Animals, flowers, people, everything. But when she got older, someone told her, "You're not very good at drawing."
That's mean.
It was, and it hurt her. She stopped drawing. For years, she didn't pick up a pencil. She convinced herself, I'm not an artist. I'm not creative. I don't have talent.
That's so sad.
It is. But one day, when she was in her 30s, she saw a little notebook at a store, a simple notebook with blank pages, and something inside her whispered, buy it.
Did she?
She did. She brought it home and put it on her desk, and every day she looked at it. For weeks, she didn't touch it. She was too scared. She thought, what if I'm still bad at it? What if that person was right?
But she opened it eventually.
She did. One night, she couldn't sleep. She turned on a small lamp, opened the notebook, and drew a circle. Just a circle. Not a perfect circle, not a beautiful circle, just a circle.
And you know what? It felt good. So she drew another one, then a line, then a square. Nothing impressive, nothing worth showing anyone. But she was drawing again.
And she kept going. She kept going. Every night she drew something, sometimes just shapes, sometimes little doodles. And slowly, very slowly, she started to believe, I can do this. Maybe I'm not the best, but I can do this.
The word doodle means a simple drawing you make without thinking too much about it. It's casual, it's playful. Lily's doodles weren't perfect, but they were hers, and that mattered.
She got her confidence back.
She did. Not because someone told her she was talented, but because she gave herself permission to try, to be bad at it, to start from nothing and just see what happens.
Daisy, I'm starting to see a pattern here.
What pattern?
All of these people, Anna, David, Lily, they didn't wait until they felt confident. They did something small, and then they started to feel confident.
Smiling. Yes, that's exactly it, Henry. Confidence doesn't come first. Action comes first. Confidence follows.
I always thought it was the other way around. I thought you needed confidence before you could do things.
A lot of people think that, but it's a trick. It's like waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment doesn't come. You have to...
One more story before we finish. Okay?
Okay.
There was a woman named Grace. Every morning, she looked in the mirror and felt disappointment. She saw all the things she didn't like: her face, her body, her life. She thought, I'm not good enough. I'll never be good enough.
That's heartbreaking.
It is. But one day, she decided to try something different. She stood in front of the mirror and said, out loud, "Good morning, Grace." That's all.
Just her name?
Just her name. And it felt strange at first, almost silly. But she did it again the next day. "Good morning, Grace." And the day after that.
Did it help?
Slowly, yes. After a week, she added something. "Good morning, Grace. You're trying." After 2 weeks, she said, "Good morning, Grace. You're enough." She didn't believe it at first, but she kept saying it. And over time, something softened. The disappointment got quieter. The kindness got louder.
She built confidence by talking to herself?
By talking to herself with kindness, by treating herself like a friend. We're so hard on ourselves, Henry. We say things to ourselves we would never say to someone we love.
That's true.
So maybe that's another small step. Speak to yourself the way you'd speak to a child, the way you'd speak to someone you care about. Soft, patient, kind.